No.
If it's your decision to defend George Soros,
Und der Audio ist auf.
there's going to be a whole new chapter to our relationship.
Our volume is off.
Our volume is off.
It's not a threat. It's the way it is. You make your decision.
Let's start this somewhere.
Start it over. Start it over.
Start with that face right there.
Start it over from Jones being very surprised, yes.
So yeah, we're gonna watch Alex Jones rant about the future globalist Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Because
second to heir of the commander of the globalist army.
This is all because Rogan said that George Soros was captured by Nazis.
And he said Jones was wrong.
Rather than being an accomplice. He touches on that and some other things too. Let's see.
Not at all. Maybe as a child you don't see the connection, but it created no problem at all. No feeling of guilt.
No problem.
No.
If it's your decision to defend George Soros, then there's going to be a whole new chapter to our relationship. Make your decision. It's not a threat. It's the way it is. You make your decision. Decide which side you're on. Throw something. You should be defending internet free speech. You should be championing things. You could change history. You're a major leader. You do have the biggest podcast in the world. Your audience rivals mine. That's great. I hope it's 10 times bigger. But not if it's in the hands of the globalists. If you turn over to Palpatine and become Darth Vader, I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi and I'm coming for you, buddy.
Joe's about to drop the hottest album of the year this summer, August 26th.
God damn it.
I mean, it must be the Wi-Fi rating for my head. Yeah.
Run the red.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm coming for you, buddy. It's just your computer.
I meant to do this.
Huh? Going insecure. So,
Yeah, thanks to you.
he does have a point though, right? Rogan has like this giant audience, yet he still plays the fool part. He plays the role of the fool.
Is that what he's saying? Or is that what you're saying?
That's what he said, and I'm agreeing with him.
Dance for me, fool.
He plays the fool role of, I don't know anything, I'm just a comedian. When he knows that he could say something and it affects a shitload of people.
Oh yeah. Well, in a way, it's. I'm not gonna. Well, it's an argument to be made that he's out. In a way, it'd be the right thing to do. You know, when you have such a platform, that you could say something and it will be echoed.
Yeah.
Like what we're doing right now.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to be a genius. All he has to do is ask the right questions.
Sure.
But I think he just steps back and plays the fool role. Plays that hangman that role.
Oh. I was waiting for that.
Dog of the system. I'm trying to change the world, and I'm doing it. And as for Joe, since I brought that up, I meant to do this, I'm going to do it now. Cue him up, if you can find it. I was going to do it last week, and I didn't do it. I'm doing it. Because I don't lose sleep over nothing, and I've been losing sleep over not saying this. So I'm going to do it right now. Cue him up saying that George Soros was captured by the Nazis. Now, you got it? Good. Joe, I don't care about coming on your podcast. I don't need to come on your podcast. But my point is, though, I know you're as smart as I am or smarter. And I sit there and I watch you on your show where I'm wrong about Bourdain, then you have your guys go, oh, look, we discovered the Clintons were after him and he was this and that. And then Alex, you know, Alex is, yeah, he's just wrong about all this stuff. And, he says Soros worked with the Nazis. Soros was captured by the Nazis. Hell, Joe, why not just say he cut Hitler's head off and fought him at a castle, and Hitler was guarded by 5,000 werewolves and naked strippers in SS uniforms. I'm not stupid. I get to hear my son listen to this podcast almost every day. I hear it. to the point of I don't want to watch it because I don't want to start saying stuff because I care about Joe. Joe's a good guy. He's done a lot of good work. He's really a libertarian patriot. But he's out there in Los Angeles with a...
They highlight the views. And he has to know that a lot of that is people like wonder what crazy shit he says, as opposed to Alex Jones he stands for the truth, and I'm gonna hear some.
Yeah. Wait.
His family.
Yeah, you would think he highlights the views, but then he wouldn't like circle the dislikes and then put like a little like line to there and say all the Soros agents. All the Soros agents dislike my videos.
And every time I see this stuff, he's misrepresenting what I've said and what I've done. He says, "Oh, I like Alex," but then he snipes me. "Oh, I like you, Alex." I like you. Alex is a good guy. He's wrong. He's wrong. He's wrong. He's wrong. He's like my other best buddy.
Oh.
Eddie Bravo, Eddie. You're a crazy dumbass. Boom, slam
You
your
have to
head
think of
down.
the
Oh,
name.
you're
He's
a nice
like,
little guy putting
Eddie
up with me
Bravo.
saying that. Well, listen, I'm not stupid.
It's
when
like
I
you're
watch
my
all
friend,
that.
but
I'm not dumb.
dog the
I don't sit here and play Machiavellian games. I'm a straight shooter. I'm from Texas.
Yeehaw.
So, that's it. That's what I'm getting at here. If Joe Rogan came out against the censorship on the internet going on, that would change a lot of things. And we get other people to do it. But there's this thing of people that are kind of quasi-conservative sitting back while the big battle goes on, and while the EU tries to ban free speech, and while they come after everybody to kind of, back off from Alex Jones a little bit and say the hat tip. Just say Soros was captured by the Nazis. You don't think I haven't been told that too? So I'm just disappointed.
and I'd probably disagree with him here that someone told Rogan to say that. I think Rogan just wants to believe the world is nice and neat in a box. There's no grand conspiracy. It's just he was captured by the Nazis. Just some guy, some rich guy who thinks he's doing the right thing and this and that. And it becomes whimsical.
I just don't believe anymore. There's just some rich guy, some rich billionaire,
or that he's one of those just rich guys that do things.
Yeah. No, I'd lose sleep over that if I just did that.
I think he just wants a simple answer to say, which is why he says like the whole incel thing, where he's like, just be a man, and in his understanding, this simple understanding of things. So,
Simplistic.
yeah, simplifying almost all these ideas that could be way more complicated, but he doesn't really go into it.
Kind of are to begin with.
He allows something that's completely foreign to him to be complicated, but something right in his face. So, simplify it down, even though it could have a complexity
Well, it's like this.
to it.
It's like if I'm not saying that they are, but let's say they're talking about Palestine or Israel. Killing people's wrong. There you go. You know that. It's not a good thing to do.
Well, go into the whole conflict itself.
Well, yeah, sure, I know, but I'm just saying you can establish that, and then it leads on to everything else.
Yeah, I think he would do something like, these guys do fucked up things. These guys do fucked up things. I was like, people in it for money. Really on the surface things that we stereotypically attribute to people. Why does this person start wars or whatever? Like, oh, it's money or resources.
Because the other people were brown. Don't you see? He hated it. He hated their way of life. He hated that they had all this money. He needed to stop it. He hated the freedom.
Yeah.
And by freedom, I mean there's certain laws that say you can't do certain things. But in the grand scheme of things, it's basically freedom.
Yeah. He doesn't go into the complexity of what it would take to actually push that button that bombs people.
Just a push. A little push for a push.
He's had psychologists on there I don't think I've ever heard that question or anything like that. So
I mean, at one point, seemingly, it seemed like you had people like from like a wide variety.
Yeah.
But now it's very singular. Seemingly.
I think he thinks that these ideas are complex with no answer, so he doesn't go into it.
But Jones is calling him somewhat of he's playing the role of, the bystander with a gigantic platform.
That, and he's saying he's somewhat complicit. So, let's watch more of this verbal abuse.
I'm disappointed in the way I've seen things go, but I understand. I come on your show, it's your #1 podcast. Now you've had 2 that are bigger, that's great. It's blocked from Apple iTunes, gets delisted, and gets blocked everywhere, but still was #1 for a year. I already know I'm #1, Joe. I already get that. It isn't about being #1. It's about changing the world. And you have the power to do that. Because let me tell you something, Joe. They're going to release bioweapons soon to try to stop Trump in this movement.
God, what?
And no matter if you got a private jet or not, if you're going to try to join the system, you ought to be trying to move in with them. Because let me tell you something. You're not going to be safe, and nobody's going to be safe. We better change this, or we're all going to fall together.
Sometimes I always think he might bring up stuff from their personal conversation. Let's say they're just like, dude, I got a private jet, man. I'll be fine. Al Jones is like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Your private jet won't save you now, Rogan. I do like, I don't know if this guy's a bullshit artist or not. Just saying, I don't know.
Well, what's happening is he's saying something correct, but I think he has the wrong meaning behind it.
Maybe, like from here, it's like it sounds like he's saying, be the champion and use your platform for.
Yeah, spread. Try to get information out there with your giant platform. The problem is, I think Alex Jones means his information.
Possibly.
Like, my information is correct. You should be telling people about this.
Possibly.
But yeah, Rogan used to be a lot more conspiratorial.
And then Jones did bring up the whole thing where he got visited and he got told to stop talking about that.
Yeah.
I was like, what? What?
Which Rogan
he did have a show.
The
Joe Rogan
questions everything.
Yeah, not everything, but
as a popcorn and soda fucking show.
Obviously,
it was weak as fuck.
Obviously, but still, allegedly,
fuzzy thing on your face, other side, like lint or something.
My shirt.
Yeah, whatever.
No, they can't see me like this. No.
They won't even see it.
No, I don't care. No.
So yeah, Jones is, I think he's right about, I almost want to say there's a moral obligation. And he's seen too much information to not be a player. He's seen too much.
Who?
Rogan. He's had too many different types of people on.
Oh, especially recently.
And hear all this different information to just be, I don't know anything.
I'll hear him like question them, and he'll use their own. It's weird, man. It's like, I don't want to call it a game, but let's say they're speaking languages of the game. You know what I mean? And he's using their language quite well.
With
whoever.
Well, one could just be him being a host.
Oh, sure.
Well,
that's what I mean. It's obvious that he knows, or is.
He's obviously heard a bunch of different information.
Well, sure. You can also question it in a certain way, too.
You don't hear him talk about Seth Rich that often. Not in the way he did until Jimmy Dore got there.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Dore is like a very popular, progressive, speaker.
Mm-hmm.
So he like waited for Jimmy Dore to get there to say this thing about him, which would be conspiratorial in nature.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy who had leaked information and then ends up dead.
Yeah.
In a suspicious way.
So you're saying it like he waits until it becomes, you know.
I don't know.
Oh, it's out in the open now.
If I want to use my conspiracy mind,
Do it.
this wouldn't be my conspiratorial opinion. It's just a conspiracy idea that's there.
Jordan's conspiratorial opinion.
Just a conspiracy idea that's there is
what he knows.
What if he waits for certain guests to bring up certain topics,
and then he hops
in order to mask it in a way?
Maybe.
It's like, it's not me saying it. I have this guest in.
Sure.
Who's all about this stuff.
Yeah, then he chooses them, like Abby Martin.
Yeah, but
Abby Martin doesn't show up and just go, "I'm going on your podcast now. Open the door."
he chooses them based on popularity.
Oh.
In the recent time, the past it was different. He found Abby Martin, and what's his name?
I thought he has people on he likes, or he's interested in.
Well, yeah, but Abby Martin's I think is from the older style podcast.
Yeah.
Where it was, yes, interest, but it was like he had his own ideas on the table too.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just I sit here and ask the right questions so you can talk a lot.
Are you saying he's become Kimmel?
No, I don't know. I don't watch.
Late time TV?
I don't watch his show.
You don't have to.
I don't watch any of those shows.
You don't have to.
This would be
it's
different.
the man who sits back and goes.
He's a little more active than that.
Okay.
And he even has like catchphrases he goes back to over and over again, which is like kind of funny. It's almost like a non-statements because you've said them so many times.
When people quote him like this, Joe, I don't know, I'm gonna have to look into it. Rogan. Or Joe.
That's you, man. I have no opinion because I haven't put in 18 hours. 18 hours of research.
Dude, suck a dick. You say some shit that I have no idea what it could be or what it is. I'm like, I don't have to look at it. Not, it's wrong. They're killing people. I don't know the situation, so I can't clarify. Like, dude, they're killing people. It's wrong to begin with. Okay, we established that. Now, what exactly is happening? I don't know.
I still disagree.
Nope.
Yeah.
2-0.
So I'd rather just be attacked straight up, Joe. Give it all to me. Come on. Then, man, I really like Alex Jones. He's a little good guy. He's a little bit funny guy. You think I'm stupid? Now go ahead and play the clip of him saying Soros. When we come back, I'll play Soros saying he helped round people up to the Nazis. Here's reality, Joe. Here it is.
But that's another thing. I don't know what to do with her now. She thinks she apologized for that. She said George Soros was a Nazi or something.
Yeah,
well,
I saw the apology.
He was captured by the Nazis. I mean, he was like.
That whole Roseanne thing was done. With her multiple personalities, she says. She was put there, that shows discredit conservatives. That whole thing was done so she could apologize to him in a PR stunt. You think I don't know when the Young Turks and CNN and ABC News all say he wasn't a Nazi and he fought Nazis, that it's not a PR stunt? You don't think I don't know I've already been threatened to stop saying it? I will continue to say it, because my soul ain't for sale. Now we're going to your calls when we come back, but first, there's a bunch of clips of him on NPR and on 60 Minutes a Minute. He helped the Nazis. But let's get the full clip. You're going to hear him say it not once, not twice, but 3 times. You know what I heard, Joe? I heard Hitler fought the Nazis. Yeah, I heard he got captured by them. Hermann Goering, Heinrich Himmler, Zeb Dietrich, all of them. They were fighting the Nazis at the Maginot Line in 1940. Yeah, did you know that? Yeah, did you know that?
Can't repeat
You know
it
the bad guys were? It was America, I heard. Yeah. Those were my grandfathers. They were the bad guys, right? In the Army Air Corps, huh? I can see from my...
I almost want to stop watching. And it brings up some pretty good points about Rogan.
Like what?
Specifically. The ones I already said.
Like what?
Like he has a platform but doesn't say anything.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into it.
Yeah, I would love to see that. Please prove me wrong. Use your...
How can I prove you wrong? You can't prove it.
That seems sarcastic.
What?
What you just said.
It was.
There you go. So I say, prove me wrong then.
What?
I can give you a topic, or you can come up with a topic. That doesn't require 30 plus hours of research. That you can just say.
See, I know, James. I know you're interested in this right now, which requires a lot of looking into. For you, they haven't done much, but for me, many times I've looked into this.
I haven't looked into fair use, yet you put the information in front of me and I
asked you a question. Asked you a question, that was it.
Yeah. I gave you an answer.
Yeah, that's all I want. What's the problem here?
I don't know. It's like you don't want to say answers.
You said, what are you interested in? And I told you this, but I don't know enough to really fucking want to do the whole thing where it's like centralized on. It's like I want to go like this about it and this about it and this about it.
All right. I asked you what you're interested in at some point.
Are we doing this here?
Yeah.
We're doing this here.
We're done basically. We'll say this off camera.
Yeah.
I don't want to embarrass you.
You're the one that's gonna get embarrassed
in front of the masses.
You're wrong.
Was there anything from this? Anything else from here? And I think the rest is a lot of
I feel like
theater.
Right now.
The rest seems like a lot of theater. Him slapping himself and getting animated, and then reiterating the same thing.
I don't like doing this. I was only interested in as far as his theories about Rogan. That's it. I'm not really in for the whole theater.
I'm telling you.
I'm hopping around getting angry. I'm not saying it's not genuine. It's just, it seems like it isn't. Especially, every time I see this guy, I keep thinking about you never tackle the whole Israel thing.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like this guy. Big.
No, he says why he doesn't.
That was bullshit. Man.
We did a video on it.
Yeah.
So. Alright, that's it with this shit. We are going to come back and do an extra longer video of Joe Rogan and Faraz Sahabi discussing, I guess you'd say, scientific philosophy.